Let's go to Tanya Rivero, who is in Uvalde with our continuing coverage. Tanya, certainly an emotional day out there at the school where you are, in the community where you are. Emotions and tensions running high. Even at the nearby press conference that we saw emotions and tensions running high at times. But we did learn some new information there at that press conference about this ongoing investigation. What is the latest?
Indeed, Mola, a very eventful press conference interrupted by Texas gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke. But I'll get to that in a moment. I want to talk about some of the new information that we learned from Texas Governor Greg Abbot. We did learn that the rampage began at the suspect's home when he shot his grandmother in the face, but she was apparently able to call police before he ran out, took the truck, ran to the school. He got into the school. He was engaged by an officer before getting into the school, but was able to enter the school through a back entrance. And of course, we know now that he killed 19 elementary school children, 2 educators, 17 more people were injured, but Governor Abbott said those injuries are not life-threatening. Now, we did also learn some very interesting information about what the suspect was up to in the moments before the shooting. According to Governor Abbott, he posted on Facebook 30 minutes before, "I am about to shoot my grandmother." Then he posted, after shooting his grandmother, "I have shot my grandmother." Then about 15 minutes before heading to the school, he posted, "I am going to shoot an elementary school." Now, they still, investigators still have not been able to piece together a motive, but that is a sort of a shocking bit of, online evidence that they revealed. They also said that the 18-year-old was a high school dropout. He dropped out of school, but had no known record or mental health history. Which brings us around to one of Governor Abbott's points, because he wanted to, he also pointed out that one of the local law enforcement officers had a daughter who was among the victims, one of the school victims. And he says he pointedly asked that law enforcement officer and the mayor of Uvalde, what is the problem here? And he says they both told him, we have a mental health issue in this community. And so Governor Abbott said that this is the problem. We need to address mental health. Now, that's the point in which Beto O'Rourke, who's been a big critic of Governor Abbott and his gun legislation in Texas, the gun laws in Texas, sort of burst forth into the presser, as we all saw, interrupted. It was hard to hear exactly what he was saying. It got quite chaotic. He was eventually escorted out, but his message, if you go back to Beto O'Rourke's social media and his Twitter, is that it's not a mental health issue, it's a gun issue. And of course, now we're beginning to see this become a sort of partisan divide when it comes to the very upsetting issue of mass shootings here in this country that unfortunately we are seeing again and again and again. You're starting to see that on the side of those who do not want to have any gun rights curtailed, this is an issue of mental health. On the side of those who do want to see more gun regulation, it's about guns. They say mental health issues exist in every community, so why does this country have more mass shootings than any other? So that is the ongoing debate. And I do want to just point out on a personal note that when my producer and I were traveling down here in the early mornings of this morning, about 1 o'clock in the morning Central Time, we ran into Beto and his team, Beto O'Rourke and his team at the Houston airport, waiting in line to get our rental cars, and we asked him if he wanted to make a statement about the shooting. He declined, said, I posted on Twitter everything I want to say, but clearly he and his team were planning to come to that press conference that we saw just moments ago. So again, it's a very hot debate right now here in Texas and across the country. What is the root cause of these devastating mass shootings? Mola?
Yeah, Tanya, it's a debate that in the wake of these shootings is inevitable, but in the meanwhile, you got to think of the families and the loved ones of the victims in these shootings. Tanya Rivero in Texas, thanks.
Absolutely.